to all of you in the FAT and to those of you in H Module Lobby, and to all our GIS friends and family around the world watching us live. A warm welcome to this much anticipated evening of celebration. Please stand to acknowledge your sons and daughters, your grandsons and granddaughters, your brothers and sisters, our graduating students, the class of 2015. standing for the Indonesian national anthem. Ladies and gentlemen, class of 2015, please be seated. It is my pleasure to invite the first of our student speakers, Bianca Risella, to come to the podium to deliver her welcoming address.
Ladies, gentlemen, boys, girls, moms, dads, aunts, uncles, grandparents, teachers, friends, cousins, nieces, nephews, anyone else in the audience, and everyone else watching the live stream. Welcome. Welcome to the day we have all been waiting for, the day we've been dreaming about since we were freshmen, the culmination, the peak, the greatest moment of our high school careers, graduation. All the IB AP exams, all the hours spent cramming and procrastinating, working hard. All the days, weeks, months spent on TOK, EE, CAS, Group 4, IOC, IOP, RINTAS, final projects, and all the other acronyms you could think of. All on top of sports, performances, service clubs, non-service clubs, out-of-school commitments, in-school commitments, as well as trying and failing to sleep the right number of hours and still talk to your friends has led up to these next 2 hours. As a class, we've experienced so many changes, honestly, it's hard to keep up. We've had 3 different logos, 3 different schedules, laptops given out, bells taken out, a bright blue track, and even a name change. Yet here we are, still standing, still strong, still dragons. Tonight, you'll hear great speeches and great performances. You'll see 224 students walk and hopefully not trip across the stage to receive their diplomas. You'll feel sadness, happiness, pride, joy, and so many other emotions all at once you're probably not even sure of what you're feeling. Tonight, we finish our journey and embark on a new one. Tonight, we mark a day to be remembered. So sit back, relax, hold on to your seats, hold on to your tissues, and enjoy the graduation ceremony of the class of 2015.
Thank you, Bianca, for your heartfelt and fun welcome. I'm now delighted to hand over to Mr. Steve Clark, High School Principal, to speak to for the last time to the class of 2015. Mr. Clark.
Ladies and gentlemen, it's a privilege to be able to deliver the opening remarks to you on this wonderful day. As usual, it was so great to be out on campus before the ceremony, to see the generations, to see the alumni, to see the proud parents, proud siblings and proud grandparents, and for you to be able to join with us today in the Fine Arts Theatre. And what a special day it is, and for many of us, a day that has been a long time coming. No doubt, as Bianca said, there will be mixed emotions today, but I hope the dominant emotions that we feel, that we all feel, are satisfaction and pride. Let's all celebrate the day for what it truly represents, the recognition of years of planning, hard work, joys, hardships, sacrifices, success, failure, combined with the love and support, all rolled into one school experience. In its purest sense, this graduation is the capstone of our core business, to lay the best foundation that we can for our students as they leave families for life beyond. The first task I want to undertake today is to offer thanks. Firstly, to you, our parents, for doing such a magnificent job raising these great kids, for trusting us with their education, and of course, for paying the bills. Secondly, I want to thank all the teachers, coaches, supervisors, mentors, and staff from GIS who have all contributed to the journey these students have undertaken. This has truly been a team effort. The second task I want to do is offer one last piece of advice for the class of 2015. Alan Alda once said that some of our best advice is said last. Often, the truth about what we really want to say is said as we linger in the doorway. Today's graduation is a doorway, the end of something and the beginning of something else. Students, my advice is actually quite simple. Continue to be yourself, for you are all amazing, and continue to trust yourself because you will absolutely need to. Yesterday, we rehearsed for today's ceremony, and as we did, I was so convinced of how ready this class are for the next chapter. There was an air of confidence, a certain swagger that said, I'm comfortable with who I am, and I trust who I am. Students, I hope you appreciate how powerful this attribute will be for you in your future. With all the excitement you feel and that we feel today, my guess is that you're also a little uncertain about what lies ahead. You're suddenly about to leave the GIS bubble with your whole life in your hands. You're wondering about the basic things that we all wonder about when we face a completely new phase of our lives. Will I cope? Will this choice be best? Will I be able to manage on my own? Will people like me for who I am? Will I be enough? I want you to know that you are already enough and that it's okay to be uncertain. I too am uncertain. In a world like ours, it's appropriate to be uncertain. In the words of Chris Cornell from the band Audioslave, to be yourself is all that you can do. But my question, and maybe it's a challenge, is this: what will yourself actually be? How will the self that you continue to craft for you and those around you bring happiness, success, fulfillment, and meaning to your life? Maybe that's the beautiful mystery that lies ahead. Graduates, in a short while, as in the nature of things, you have to leave the home of your comfort and go out into the wilderness of your own intuition. You can't get there anymore on the shoulders of others, only by hard work, by facing your fears, and by trusting yourself. But what you discover will be wonderful, because what you'll actually discover is yourself. So the most important investment that we can make, the most important work I believe we should continue to do, is to grow ourselves and to be ourselves the very best we can. Class of 2015, these are my parting words to you as the door closes gently between us. Thank you for your remarkable contributions to our school. I feel blessed to be your principal. Congratulations on all that you have achieved and best wishes for the exciting adventures that lay ahead. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much, Steve. Graduation is most definitely a time for revisiting the past. It is with anticipation that I invite two wise old students of the class of 2015. Nikolai Narad from PAL and Julian Fury from PI to deliver their historian's address. Please welcome them both.
Good evening. I'm Julian.
And I'm Nico.
We are standing here honored to be able to share all of our unforgettable memories accumulated from this extraordinary school. We are here to reminisce over the years upon years that we have stood here representing our school. We are here through the countless late nights of cramming and crying for 3-hour exams that dictated our future. Nevertheless, we are here and we have all survived.
Although we have all come to GIS at different times, know some people better than others, hang out in different places, we are all part of the class of 2015, a special graduating class that has resulted in many great memories and achievements throughout the course of high school.
Speaking of our class, let's get to know a little bit more about our history. Could the class of 2015 please rise?
If you have experienced a schedule change, stay standing.
If you remember the big chunky white MacBooks we used to lug around, stay standing.
If you remember a time before Sodexo, stay standing.
If you remember playing Foursquare during elementary lunches, stay standing.
Lastly, if your ID starts with 1, stay standing.
These very few students have been here since the beginning. Just as Nico and myself, we've literally grown with GIS.
You may now take a seat.
Every single dragon before your eyes has their own story, their own experience of their time here at GIS. Many of our stories may overlap, but not one story replicates another.
Hey Julian, speaking of memories, do you remember all the Friday movie nights we had in elementary?
I went to PI, remember? We didn't have any of those. We were far too busy becoming gymnasts.
What's so great about gymnastics? We were all thespians in Pell. Plays were the bomb back then.
Well, we always had cool new toys from the Chicha corner, just like the bouncy balls and the sticky hands and all the slime.
Who needs cool toys when you can make your own stuff at our science fairs?
Well, we had talent shows to showcase all of our talented individuals.
Oh, we had those too. We also got a new cafeteria. I heard Pi got one too.
Yeah, but that didn't really change anything since we'd all just want to rush out and go play grounders on the playground.
And Foursquare, right? We'd even spend countless hours in the computer labs leveling up in RuneScape or burning down giant cities in SimCity.
I guess we're not all that different after all.
I guess our differences were truly tested when we went to middle school.
Pell kids were so weird. Of course, all the Pi kids were the popular ones.
I'm not going to argue with that. Most Pell kids hung around the basketball courts, while the Pi kids took the picnic tables, where the cool kids hung out. But at least we were near Ditoko, so if we were tired from playing too much basketball, we could get refreshments.
Ditoko was nice, but Pangansari had all the good pita bread and kebabs.
Yeah, but that was short-lived once Sodexo came. But we did have the huts in 7th grade.
Huts were the best place to make friends, but the middle school dances were where it was at. I love being able to showcase my groovy moves and dress up.
And knowing that feeling of finally having the guts to ask a girl to dance with you, and better yet, getting to know them during ESP.
OMG, I loved ESP. But my favorite ESP was Bali ESP. That wasn't the last we would see of Bali, am I right, seniors?
8th grade ESP was also great. It had many more selections, such as Manado, Batam, Jogja, and more.
It was kind of like Project Week in 9th grade. I loved the way we were allowed to explore different cultures and get to know a lot of people so much better.
Especially being able to come back and throw your thoughts into words in our 9th grade travel articles.
Honestly, the highlight of my freshman year was being the first class to be able to try out the one-to-one program.
Yeah, up until all the heaviness hurt your back.
And the death stares we got from all the seniors of jealousy.
But that didn't really affect us in 10th grade. All we really cared about is what classes we would take and how they would affect our IB selections.
And we also had the best located hut in high school, close to the glass box, close to the booster hut, and not too far from any of our classes. It was basically perfection.
We couldn't say the same about the junior hut. I mean, that was in the middle of nowhere. If we wanted to go to the bathroom, we'd either have to walk up a flight of stairs or walk a mile.
But we carried the upperclassmen label. Is it just me, or did the freshmen get smaller and smaller every year?
That's true, but with that label, that carried us into the world of IB, AP, and SATs, the whole university package.
It was all worth it, wasn't it? I mean, it looks like we all turned out pretty okay.
And we finally made it. We are the kings of the school, the top of the social hierarchy.
And even though we didn't get to experience a lot of the senior traditions, we did finally get to win Shillelagh Games. It's true that only seniors win, right?
Pretty sure you're right. I mean, we did win it last year.
We finally did it, didn't we? But who are we? Who is this we that we've been talking about?
Well, we are hardworking students, enthusiastic performers, loyal friends, dedicated athletes, one big giant family of 225. But best of all, we are dragons. And today marks a large milestone in our lives. We have finally made it to the concluding chapter from the beginning of our lives. And graduation is the last shared memory we, the class of 2015, will have together before we all disperse to our relative colleges and future plans. Graduation is a memory that we will bring with us for the rest of our lives. It's a common misconception to think that it is just an indicator that we have survived high school. However, this day marks the end of a journey that has lasted over 12 years. It is a reminder that all of the great memories we had from elementary, middle school, and high school have taught us many valuable lessons in life, but one in particular, the importance of being a dragon.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thanks, Julian and Nico, for those memories. Our next speaker is the delightful Chelsea Ung, Senior Class President, who will address her fellow classmates for the last time. Please join me in welcoming Chelsea to deliver her final address to her classmates.
Today I stood in front of the mirror and looked at myself. Female, obviously. High school senior, obviously. 5'4", cap and gown in place, and graduating. Thankfully. I stare at myself and I realize I'm not a panda, I'm not a poodle, and I'm definitely not a flamingo. But today I wonder, what will I become? Who will I be? If I have to say one thing about graduation, I'd be torn between saying, congratulations, we did it, and realizing the sorrow of a time that will not return. Graduation doesn't end our education. Stories live outside of their pages and ideas stretch beyond their words. But what now? Life demands to move forward. Class of 2015, the 4 years we have spent in high school have been a small slice of our infinities. As you sit on this stage, huddled between anxious, sweaty palms and anticipating shaky legs, admire your surroundings. Admire the routine that you will grow to miss. Capture the final moments you call home. Hold it and never let go. And as you wait for your name to be called, Look out to the audience of strangers and find the tear-filled eyes that belong to the members who've seen you grow. To them, this day is a reminder of how wings have been attached to a clock, emphasizing how fast time flies. To us, this day is a reminder of how we are now able to spread our wings into a realm of the unforeseen, watching our future spill out into the sky. When I think back into the significant lessons that I've learned here at GIS, textbooks and loose leaf papers are just blurred in the background of those memories. Lunch breaks taught me the importance of taking breaks, of slowing down, for there is beauty in learning, but there is also beauty in life. Stairs and classroom doors taught me that in any given moment, we have two options: to step forward into growth or to step back into safety. The FAT reminds me that one can only be brave by being afraid. Freshman year Chelsea Ung, afraid to death at the enormity of the audience. But I have learned. Embrace what you are scared of and shift its energy to destroy your fears. The lack of corridors, but vastness of open green spaces at GIS remind me that dreams do not just hang on the walls of a school, nor are they merely trapped within the pages of books, but they are in the open, everything made possible. And the mighty old dragon fountain. It has taught me to brave all the seasons, brilliant sunshines, or the whites and grays of a storm, to endure and conquer amidst all troubles. It reminds me that to be a dragon is to be an athlete who powers forward, catches the ball, and score 2 points for your team. It means being a dancer with your pirouettes and splits. It also means being a scholar, immersing yourself in the fantasy of books. It means to be anything. Being a dragon means that regardless of who you were, who you are, and who you will be, each of us have a gift to give. Yet the simple fact is, our experience was never just about this grass or those buildings. Our time here is distinguished by transformations we've made, the records we've set, the ideas we've carried, the thousands of questions that we've asked, all sewn into GIS's tapestry, elements of what we will take away with us. Class of 2015, we are masters of our own universes. We are all artists in the grand scheme of things. What is beyond us stands the canvas of decisions, and life comes at you at a myriad of colors. Paint a picture worth the trouble. So class of 2015, as claimed by David McCullough, climb the mountain not to plant your flag, but to embrace the challenge, to enjoy the air, and to behold the view. Climb it so you can see the world, not so the world can see you. And while you are thinking, the world is definitely more ready for me than I am for her, always remember that we have been 17, 18, 19 years readied with the armor of love, of knowledge, and courage. And if you're afraid, do it anyway, live anyway. Create opportunities that do not exist, and in moments of doubt, tell yourself firmly, if not me, who? If not now, when? I know that we will be stories someday, and our pictures, old photographs. But just as you can decide whether a cup is half full or half empty, you can determine whether life is full of firsts or lasts. Today, I decide that firsts are far too exciting to think about the possibility for lasts. To all of our teachers, parents, family, and friends, we owe a tremendous and unquantifiable number of thank yous. Here is to naive bewilderment at the campus's pebbled corridors and solidly standing huts, to the paths canopied with 100-year-old trees, to the chatter of conversations and the nervousness that newness brings, to free lunches from the toko, to familiarity and to ease, to the security of known parameters and the exhilaration of the unknown, to the sadness of watching new friends leave and to leaning on old ones, to naps at midnight, to learning to drink coffee black no matter the hour, to finding camaraderie in shared anxiety, to dreading Monday mornings and anticipating Friday nights, to measuring years from August to June, to getting drenched in rainwater and being shelterless during the rainy seasons, to anticipation and to the unexpected, to winning the Chilanda Games, to feeling invincible, to the mistakes we all make, to failure with a smile, to anger at seeing loved ones wronged, to the senior fight everybody demanded for, but attendance rate 12 people, to first and last block honor passes, to making a school of stained white walls that speak of formidability and fading thatched roofs that remind that we are one, feel like home, to incredible happiness, to knowing high school, to endings, to beginnings, to knowing it was. So after a 13-year deadline, I'd like to tell each and every one of you, thank you for being a part of each other's stories. I am eternally grateful. Thank you.
Thank you, Chelsea. At this point, I'm delighted to introduce our valedictorians, Kathy Bai and Devika Pokhrel. Please welcome them to the stage.
Good evening, faculty, parents, friends, and class of 2015. We are honored to be able to speak before you today. Now, assigning a couple of 18-year-olds to enlighten a stage full of other 18-year-olds as to the intricacies of life is quite the challenge. However, we'll do our best to impart a few graduating thoughts. But before we fix our gaze into the future, let us first focus on those who have supported us endlessly in our journey throughout high school. From the outset, our families have indulged us with unconditional love, protecting us and rooting us on. Even after we leave the safety and confines of adolescence, they will always be there for us, beaming and eager. Our teachers, many of whom very unfortunately cannot be here with us today, have inspired, challenged, guided, and advocated for us. Not only are they mentors who have expanded our horizons, but also incredible friends.
And, of course, we cannot forget those sitting Navy-capped and patient beside us, our peers. Each one of us has spent countless hours under tiled roofs and lush foliage, laughing, screaming, arguing, panicking, and building memories with all the acquaintances, classmates, and best friends we met here. So even if you somehow forget everything else about your high school experience, do remember the people you had the pleasure of knowing. That way, you'll always have living, breathing proof of what you loved about this place. But now, let us look forward. As soon as our tassels journey from one side of our caps to the other, we will have to step out of the GIST bubble and into independence. Independence implies not only living on your own, but thinking on your own as well. There will be neither core values nor learning dispositions to guide your journey. Rather, you will have to craft your own values and abide by what you genuinely feel. Think of your time at GIS as eating at a buffet. You were exposed to various suggestions and requirements, the majority of which were served without your input. You relished some dishes, but might not have cared for others. Adulthood is more like dining a la carte. From now on, you alone can decide what you want. Fortunately, though, your past experiences at GIS, though no longer directly available, will help you selectively identify and enjoy those dishes on the menu that appeal to you. Only when you make decisions through your own reasoning will you become truly independent.
As of now, we are young, we are malleable, blank slates easily molded by our surroundings. During this time of naivety, 7 core values were ingrained into our minds. We were prompted to consider them and to refine our sense of moral rightness through their aid. These prescribed ideas provide a basic framework for what our own values should one day resemble, encouraging us to develop as whole, balanced individuals. Yet, in order to live wholeheartedly by any moral code, we must construct it through our own discovery, through our successes and our failures. So, treat these 7 values as a rough sketch of your personal ideology, but make sure to darken the lines, daub on splashes of color, and refine the piece through your own experiences. As we step into adulthood, let us seek to empower ourselves with our own vision.
we must also learn to exercise our newfound autonomy in the face of perceived expectations. For example, how many of you scrambled through the IB diploma not because your prospective universities required it, but because you felt pressured to adhere to a predetermined set of standards? For some, renown eclipsed practicality, and the decision became an obligation rather than a challenge. But remember, there is no magic formula to success, so don't bother committing to a name if it's not what you truly want. Instead, commit to your own interests. Never forget what's best for you in your quest to be best for the world.
And of course, it is important to adhere to these interests, even in the face of adversity. We have been blessed with an excellent liberal education. Rather than the torturous arts of memorization and intellectual orthodoxy, critical thinking is held in the highest esteem. Direct your attention to any subject, be it biology, English, or theory of knowledge, and you would see teachers encouraging us to strive for independent thought and expression. However, education is almost futile if one does not put it to good use outside the classroom. Criticism is not cynicism. We must remember to be critical thinkers, to utilize the skills we have developed throughout high school in the real world. Yes, there will be instances when we encounter resistance, when it is perhaps more convenient to turn a blind eye to hardship. Yet, to truly make a change, we must know not only how to think, but when to speak.
And finally, class of 2015, we would like to congratulate you on making it this far.
Life beyond JIS isn't going to be easy, but we have no doubt that you will each find a way to soar. Thank you.
Thank you, Kathy and Devika, for your wise words. We now turn from talented student speakers to talented student musicians. We welcome to the stage June, Juhi, Pooja and Priyanka. They will sing for us In My Life by the Beatles. We'll just give them a moment to get set up and then we will welcome them.
There are places I remember all my life, though some have changed, some forever, not for better. Some have gone, and some remain. All these places have their moments with lovers and friends. I still can recall, some are dead and some are living. In my life, I love them all. But of honest friends and lovers, there is no one who can bring you. These memories lose their meaning when I think of love as something new. Though I know I'll never lose affection for him. For people and things, though it about them in my life. I love you more. There are places I remember all my life. Some have changed, some forever, not for better. Some have gone, and some remain. In my life, I love you more. In my life, I love you more.
June, Judy, Pooja and Priyanka, thank you very much. Before the conferring of the GIST diplomas, we have one more speech, this year's commencement address. Please extend your welcome to Mario Vega.
Gathered along the Indonesian shores, we stand side by side. The sands of time beneath our feet whisper tales of triumph from the horizon, brought by each wave that washes up along the coast. On this shoreline, back in a time whose memory escapes even the wisest of us, we began the journey that has yet to have an end. You are born, stepping into the tide pools of life. It takes time to be able to walk with cold feet. As you wade knee-deep through your childhood years, you feel the water's drag, but you learn to manage your steps. Adolescence hits as the surf starts to brush against your belly. It's a sensation that you just can't anticipate, no matter how much you prepare. You'll always feel the cold, tingling rush that first time. And now, as we close the chapter of our high school years together, we're all neck deep. It really is the best of both worlds, to be able to have your feet safe and sound, lightly touching the ground, but being far out enough to look back onto everyone on shore and say, hey, look how far I've come. But you can't stay here forever. My fellow classmates, now it's time to leave the shallows of childhood and dive into the blue. It's time to seek out the pearls that dwell on the bottom, to dive deep on a single breath, and to fight the pain and the urge to breathe. It's time to find your hidden treasure, one that looks and feels differently to every single one of us. But no one's going to tell you where it lies, hidden beneath the sand. This milestone signifies the moment, the transition, the achievement in completing a major phase in our lives. Today marks the time when we inhale our last gulp of air just before our faces touch the water. But you'd hope that all those years wading in the shallows would have made you comfortable in the water. You'd hope that all those undertows that pulled you in too far, too fast, making you stumble forward and fall, would have taught you caution and diligence as you brushed off the sand and stood back up. You'd hope all those violent waves that sent you tumbling backwards would have taught you strength, perseverance, and courage
as you emerged intact, found your ground, ready to test the depths. And you'd hope that seeing others battle the same waves only to stumble further back would have engendered compassion and empathy as you reached out to them and gave a helping hand. It's only now that I realize that JIS has seeded these virtues in me since I was an elementary kid wandering around Pi with my oversized baseball cap. Caring, sharing, and daring to do our best. As we look down toward the deep abyss, it's the outside world we see, with all its uncertainties, dancing and fading like a band of taunting ghosts. But dear friends, realize that there's no need to frantically hyperventilate, to try to sequester all the air we think we need to survive the unknown worlds of the deep. Because of every breath of our past lives, inhaled the life and love that our parents so selflessly gave to us, empowering us to be the best that we can be. For we breathe the sweetness of this community and what it has taught us, no matter how short or how long our stay was. And for the confidence that we have in our upbringing and education, we do not fear drowning, because no matter what, we'll always surface to the warmth of the beautiful shining sun, illuminating what would otherwise be dark. This graduation is a testament of our competence and ability to overcome the challenges that lie ahead against raging currents and tumultuous waves. Now, here we stand, together, donned with our caps and gowns and cloaked with the very blue that fills the ocean's vast expanse. Class of 2015, we shall graduate swimming out to life's furthest horizons. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Mario. And now, class of 2015, the big moment, that time in the ceremony for the conferring of this year's diplomas. Mr. Jack Stander, Chair of the Board of Trustees, and Mr. Tim Carr, our Head of School, will confer the diplomas. The students will be called to the stage by their counsellors. It will take just a few moments for the diploma-laden tables to be carefully carried out onto the stage, so if you give us a few moments to do that, and then we will begin.
Let's begin. Yusuke Ishii. Yusuke Ishii. Paulina Bianca Karandang Rasella. Julian Furry. Nikolai Sebastian Lacroche. Chelsea Nikita Ung. Kathy Bai. Devika Pokrial. June Bay. Juhee Lee. Pooja Murali. Priyanka Ramesh. Mario Nella Vega. Lisa Ovidia Canardo. Cherry Amalia Kurtz. Edric Kusuma. Ashwin Abraham. Justin Adijanto. Shubham Agarwal. Sia Agarwal. Ariel Aldrin. Vincenzo Aloya. Michelle Alriani. Asta Anguno. Maria Aramayo. Thomas Armandarma. Fatih Ahmad Asakov. Cecilia Bay. Rebecca Bastian. Dana Lindsay Begg. Sabrina Berardi. Jacqueline Ariana Bradfield. Kayla Brazali. Spencer Breckenridge. Kristen Amber Butenhoff. Mingyao Tsai. Jack Capone. Yana Capete. Leonardo Castiglione Rodriguez. Jordan Sanisa Drake. Yinji Chang. Rachel Charalambis. Savia Chauhan. Corey Chia. Eunice Chen. Michelle Chung. Johnny Chiang, Nicole Chin, Hua-Jin Cho, Sung-Hyuk Cho, Jeong-Yeon Choi, Elaine Chong, Marianne Concepcion, Tamarind Kochu, Alex Stafford, Sanjit Dasgupta, Mario Samuel de Leon III, Chandler Dixon, Kaylin Doe, Sophie Barbara Dobb, Chika Ramdina Duhaim, Sebastian Ernst, Cynthia Fleischman, Phoebe Mei-Hua Fu,
Rafael Gamo, Axel Peter Glitman Lusthoff, Glenn Golia, Akarsh Goyal, Sasha Revendran Green, Andrei Grupovich, Amanda Gunawan, Kartik Gupta, Hiho Han. Yojin Han. Marshall Edward Harrison. Muhammad Fitri Harudin. Krista Haryanto. Charlotte Heil. Joanna Holmgren. Jiyoung Hong. Karen Hori. Natalie Huguet. Alex Human. Fritz Paris Jr. Hudepe. Yuchan Huang. Hatun Ibrahim. Huda Imran. Madison Irwin. Brian Jager. Sanjna Jain. Emma Pauline Janelle. Tiffany Jari. Aram Jung. Jacinth Mackenzie Jones. Jaehoon Jung. Now Kajita. Mana Kakinuma. Manukurin Kamat. Rizwana Kareem. Melody Karmana. Marco Carnati. Eugene Alexander Kesu. Isabel Grace M. Kenny. Nani Sudhira Kerr. Muhammad Miran Khan. Muhammad Nashruan Khan. Sarah Khan. Manan Khanija. Ojin Kim. Haekyung Kim. Hyukjun Kim. Jaehyun Kim. Jinwoo Kim. Sunyoung Kim. Yoojin Kim. Austin Radityaputra King. Luca King. Laura Francisca Conline. Mukulai Kerr. Reza Kuzno. Justin Ingamar Quick. Regina Lao. Taylor Larson.
Alim Lee. Bonnie Lee. Daye Lee. Dongmin Lee. Hee Song Lee. Tom Lee. Jung Mak Lee. Matthew Lee. No Young Lee. Sunghyun Lee. Yoonjo Lee. Jeremy Leondo. Wilson Pard Liu. Chaewon Lim. Clara Linanda. Kathleen Lucy. Adhish Maheshwari. Luke William Maley. Caitlin Nicole Matari. Kurt River McNally. Mateo Mendez. Shabnam Mohajer. Gaurav Mohile. Christian Munoz. Madison Emily Murray. Hina Nagai. Karishma Nanwani. Mahika Narula. Zinzan Newton. Isabel Nga. Ilham Nurjadin. Richa Oberoi. Ichinosuke Okada. Jeffrey Okewumi. Daniel Ostevel. Arum Park. Inbee Park. Hayrin Park. Jae Hyun Park. Jae Yoon Park. Joon Hee Park. Seyeon Park. Selly Park. Shreyas Patil. Louise Pesh. Relia Petrovich. Nathan Potter. Aram Pradhan. Gandhira Pratama. Aditya Raghuraman. Alexis Raymond. Vanessa Nadisha Reddy. Patrick Reynolds. Michael Barry Rowe. Jake Oliver Rollins. Brandon Rusdy.
Jake Scheide. Austin Schroeder. Katarina Lane Schwartz. Natalia Ravina Shankar. Nikita Schimberg. Kian Asher Sidhu. Wakisa Silindu. Russell Sim Wyming. Craig Simpson. Dakota Cinder. Jason Fries Sorensen. Nicole Francine Souders. Aditya Kumar. Alia Stats. Amanda Su. Sushila, daughter of Sudhir Narayanan Chitrasanan. Ji Wan Su. Simi Sundararajan. Risa Suzuki Tan. Hafiz Syed Hussain. Beatrice Louise Yun Tan. Jose Maria Giao Tan. Xiang Rui Dao. Pinto Tasdiata. Lily Tawfiq Bailey. Aisha Tadani. Joy Tourion. Brenda Tinnemeyer. Anjanea Tavari. Yuriko Ueda. Chi Wan Om. Anisha Uno. Darlene Utomo. Sam Vanderlinden. Alejandra Carolina Velasco Messina. Julian Gonzalez Vilnuen. Bronte Welters. Valdi Vidanta. Aga Wijoyo. Jasmine Widodo. Marsha Woody. Xu Zhen. Cheyong Yu. Hibin Yu. Nadira Zahiruddin.
And now for another special treat. I invite Kathy, Lisa and Cherry to sing for us, probably for the very last time on this stage. We will just get the mics ready and then please sit back and enjoy their version of As We Are Now by St. Raymond. Please welcome them to the stage.
Pretending not to be kids. The girls are in the corner, already had too much to drink. Boys hide behind their laughter, they don't care what girls think. We'll never be as young as we are now. The faces in the crowd are thinning out. And I'm not saying stick around, but stick around. And we may never have another like today. Tomorrow is a brand new start away. We'll never be as young as we are now, as we are now. We've all been getting tired, the streets that we've outgrown. Sit indoors for hours, reminiscing all we know. But something out there's calling, a whisper we call home. And I might not be with you, but you'll never be alone. We'll never be as young as we are now. The faces in the crowd are thinning out. And I'm not saying stick around, but stick around. And we may never have another like today. Tomorrow is a brand new start away. We'll never be as young as we are now, as we are now. We'll never be as young as we are now. The faces in the crowd are thinning out. And I'm not saying stick around, but stick around. And we may never have another like today. Tomorrow is a brand new start away. We'll never be as young as we are now, as we are now.
Thank you so much. As we draw towards the closure of this graduation, I'm delighted to invite our final student speaker for the evening, Edric Kasuma, to deliver his farewell address. Please welcome him to the podium.
This is it. Just as it says on the backs of our royal blue Chilanga Games t-shirts, this is it. We're done. High school is over, and we are about to be released into a brave new world. In a few months, after the heart-rending farewells and last-minute partying, we will all be moving on. Although being an international school brought such a diverse student body together, it comes with a caveat. In the end, we are scattered all across the world like seeds of change in the winds of time. Some of us will return to our respective homes, and some will enter the workforce. As for the majority of us, we will venture out into the vast unknown that is university life. Regardless of what lies in the future, always remember who you are. What identity you've created at GIST, the lessons we have learned in this microcosm, and guard it fiercer than a dragon guarding its gold. If there is one thing that we should treasure, it is the fact that we have all been bred as leaders. Whether it be as grand as captain of the rugby team, Secretary General of the MUN General Assembly, lead role in the play, or even as small but no less important than the student who contributes to class discussions and answers questions. We are all leaders to some degree, and from what I've seen, both on campus and off, I can say this with absolute confidence. Now, it is time to take the reins. It is time to become the leaders of the world that GIST has raised us to be. Jakarta Intercultural School, Class of 2015, it's been an honor. And while it may seem like farewell at this point in time, I shall remain optimistic and simply say, Sampai Jumpa Lagi. Thank you.
Thank you, Edric, for your inspirational words. I think you've captured extremely eloquently the way we're all feeling at the departure of the class of 2015, and we will certainly miss this group. And for the final speech of this graduation, it is my pleasure to ask our head of school, Mr. Tim Carr, to come to the podium to address us all. Please join me in welcoming him.
Good evening. I've got the dubious distinction to be the last speaker of the night. Means it better be good and it better be short, both. It's been quite a year at Jakarta Intercultural School, one that will go down in history, I think. In part, it's because of the challenges that we faced as a community, and I'd like to start by thanking everybody in this room for standing with us through thick and thin, through all the adversity that we faced, to together. The fact that our community stood with us every step of the way is an incredible tribute to everybody here and to the power of GIST. So thank you. I think another reason that this has been such a special year is this class, 2015. And as with any class, we look at them and we're incredibly grateful for all the things that they've done, the ways that they've contributed to our community, to Jakarta as a whole, to Indonesia as a land. We're very hopeful for them, but we're also a bit anxious. And we're thinking about the ways in which they can go and continue to make a difference elsewhere. So what I'd like to do is present a brief story, a symbol, and a solution or two, just to wrap up the evening here. One of the things we've invoked a lot, and it's been mentioned by a couple of the speakers this evening, is dragon spirit. What is that? It's something that we've relied upon heavily this year, and yet I think it bears a bit of analysis. What does it mean? We have another key word that I think is relevant both to analyze this year, but also for this class to think about as they go forth, and that's resilience. It's one of the 4 R's that we hold dear in the school, and it's one of the ones that I think describes one of the core elements of our being. So here's the story. A 6-year-old wandered home from school one day, clutching in his hand a small plant. It was a seed that he planted in elementary school, and he brought it home to his place on Heather Hills Drive in Burlington, Ontario, and he planted that. The tree grew as he did. He became a tall man, as did the tree. It wasn't a man, it was a tree. The tree eventually loomed over the home and became one of the most gorgeous trees on the entire drive and in Burlington. For the next 40 years, this man became an adult. He went off to university. He became a teacher. He traveled to the western part of Canada. He taught in a school there. He met a woman who soon became his wife. They went off to teach in Singapore. Then they came to Jakarta. That person, as you may have guessed, is Neil Bantelman. The tree that he left behind is now 40 years old, majestic in its force. And his Aunt Sheila was the one who posted it, I think, recently, and let us know of the existence of that tree. Now, ironically, I had just asked Neil for some assistance with this speech because I told him I wanted to speak about resilience. And I thought he'd be a really good source to consult right about now. And the irony is this: he used the metaphor of a tree before he knew that his Aunt Sheila was going to send along that photo. And he said, of resilience, it's really not a standalone trait. It goes together with others. And here's the symbol. Its roots are the resilience part. The roots that dig down into the soil and grab the nutrients there, that's the stability of the plant and of the tree. The trunk is love. It's the love of friends and family and community. The people in this room represent that love. The branches are hope, and they reach out to the sun and grab its energy and its goodness. The leaves represent faith, and they whisper that everything will be all right. These 4 elements have comforted Neil and Ferdy and many others who have suffered injustice over the years. The tree that he talked about in this metaphor can be uprooted. As everybody on the stage will be, you're all going to be going somewhere else. And the question in the minds of many people in the audience right now is, can you sink your roots down in that new place and become sturdy and resilient where you are. Recently, I conducted an interview with a candidate for an early childhood position. Asked her why she wanted to come to Jakarta. And she said it was about the adventure. Said, I'm not looking for comfort. I recognize that discomfort may be a part of this placement there. There's grit in Jakarta. There's some challenges on the horizon. But that's the opportunity for learning, and I wish to embrace it. Guess what? We hired her. And many other teachers just like that bring that attitude of adventure to our school. An Outward Bound instructor said simply, in order to get out of a challenging situation, you have to get into it. Middle schools define the term resilience in the following way. It's to be ready, willing, and able to lock on to learning. Knowing how to work through difficulties when the pressure mounts or the going gets tough. Again, in a nutshell, that's what we're hoping you can do. And we believe that you can. Neil had some other insights for us that now translate into solutions. He said, you may be wondering how I've continued to show resilience during this situation. I read. I read about others who have faced similar or worse situations, like Louis Zamperini, Nelson Mandela, and Lisa Groen-Nielsen, who have all inspired me and given me perspective. Whenever I feel sorry for myself and think things can't get any worse, I look to these people as examples. I realize it is time to end the pity party, pick myself up, dust myself off, and keep moving forward. To do anything less would be a dishonor to myself, my family, and the community that supports me. That community includes you. As Neil pointed out, it's a choice every day, every moment. Being positive is a choice. Bouncing back is a choice. Choosing to learn in a challenging circumstance is a choice. And we need to be rooted in the 7 values that were mentioned earlier and any other value that you embrace in your lives. Sink your roots into those, and you will have a sturdy tree. Be nourished as well by the loving community that you're a part of. Create that community. Help it to flourish. In a recent TED Talk, Sir Ken Robinson quoted Ben Franklin, and he said there are 3 types of people in this world. One type is immovable. They're very set in their ways. Might be sturdy, but don't adapt so well. Then there's another type, and that's movable people. They can be convinced and swayed and may move. Then there are the movers, the people who make things happen. I think we have a stage full of movers, people that have already made things happen. And I look forward to the time when they're going to influence the world that they go off into right now. That is indeed the mission of GIST. That's why we're here. We're hoping to educate people who will be impact players. And furthermore, Sir Ken said, you put those movers together and you have a movement. I think of mobile trees that you are going to become. I don't know if you've read the Tolkien series, the trilogy, Lord of the Rings. Do you remember the Ents? The Ents were mobile trees. They uprooted themselves, and they came back and they reconquered the world. And I love that. Nature won in the end. I see you all as Ents in the best sense of that term. You're going to go forward into the world and you're going to make a difference, and you're going to root yourself in your new circumstance, and you're going to be that pillar of strength that others will rely upon. You are indeed leaders. You're dragons. Dragons do the same thing, right? They fly into the world, they sink their claws into the ground, they establish themselves, and then they exude that strength as well. So to the class of 2015, you are indeed ready to fly. And it's time to reinforce this lesson that I've just given with a traditional activity. Because you're all dragons, you are powerful, loving, compassionate leaders. Plant your feet in the ground right now on stage. Nice. Remember, that represents resilience, roots, stability, connectedness. Now turn to your left and to your right. See the people around you, the love that is your class, that is the community that you've grown up in. Now grasp one another's hands. For the person next to you, experience that love. It's love that will sustain you. Now I'd like you to raise your arms with clasped hands together. This is hope, ladies and gentlemen. This is hope. You can put them down, but you don't have to let go. Now parents get to do something with their hands too. Remember the fourth element. The Naga spirit is represented with leaves of faith. Can you all do that? They're not just waving goodbye right now. They're expressing faith in you, and they're sending their love as well to the class of 2015. You are indeed dragon strong. You are trees that will transplant well. You are leaders that are going to make a huge impact on this world. Best of luck to all of you. And remember, selalu anda semua bisa pulang kampung di JIS. Terima kasih.
Thank you, Tim, and thank you for reminding us again about once a dragon, always a dragon. Now, of course, the long-awaited moment. The blood, the sweat, and the tears. The shared laughter and the joy have brought us all to this moment in time. I invite Mr. Jack Stander, Head of the Board of Trustees, to present to us the JIS family, the class of 2015.
Students, parents, family, thank you. Now, we have come to the end of one journey. And before we unleash these students upon the world, I just want to say one thing. And I want to remind them and to remind everyone in this room that we are just dragons, and the mission is to be the best for the world. Students, please stand. Students, in a moment, you will move your tassel from right to left. The turning of the tassel symbolizes your transition from JIS student to graduate. Ladies and gentlemen, I now present to you the class of 2015.
It's been a long day without you, my friend, and I'll tell you all about it when I see you again. We've come a long way from where we began. Oh, I'll tell you all about it when I see you again. When I see you again.
Damn, who knew? All the planes we flew, good things we've been through, that I'll be standing right here talking to you about another path. I know we love to hit the road and laugh, but something told me that it wouldn't last. Had to switch up, look at things different, see the bigger picture. Those were the days, hard work forever pays. Now I see you in a better place. How can we not talk about family when family's all that we got? Everything I went through, you were standing there by my side, and now you gon' be with me for the last ride.
It's been a long day without you, my friend, and I'll tell you all about it when I see you again. We've come a long way, from where we began.
You know, we started.
Oh, I'll tell you all about it when I see you again.
I'll tell you.
When I see you again.
First you both go out your way and the vibe is feeling strong, and what's small turn to a friendship turn to a bond, and that bond will never be broken, the love will never get lost. And when brotherhood come first, then the line will never be crossed. Established it on our own when that line had to be drawn, and that line is what we reach, so remember me when I'm gone. How can we not talk about family when family's all that we got? Everything I went through, you were standing there by my side, and now you gon' be with me for the last ride.
Let the light guide your way. Yeah. Hold every memory as you go, and every road you take will always lead you home. Oh, it's been a long day without you, my friend, and I'll tell you all about it when I see you again. We've come a long way from where we began. Oh, I'll tell